live here. PMA LCS SummerSlam here. We're in for a great couple of matches here tonight. We have, whoops, I gotta hop down here. We got, it looks like we have a great set of teams facing off here. We have Labby's Lusty Lads against Saving Private Reckless here. Both teams, my team has faced themselves, and I think, and I think that it's going to be good. I mean, I think my team has performed sorry, tell this to move, that it's Labby, even. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Like I said, I think my team's performed pretty average against both of these teams for different reasons, whether my team had worse macro in a set of matches, or we had like micro issues, I think. But yeah, really excited to see how these two teams will face off each other. Some of these guys here are, low plat, high gold, and so they, are not, and they're good players. So it's going to be very interesting to find out kind of how it goes down tonight. And so we're just getting some stuff set up here. It looks like we have somebody resetting their router. Good for him. It's not Dr. Pengu, it's Ethan. I don't know who Ethan is. I don't remember. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. For now, we will be just listening to some music while we wait. I'm not really sure what the updates will be and how long it'll be for, so I don't want to, just randomly vamp. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. So you'll be hearing from me soon. I heard we could barely hear the mic, so we just turned it up here. We have it against some music. I don't know. Is that the issue? Bowser, the Harvest Goddess? Yes, better. Cool, sweet. Good to know. Good to know. Really appreciate you tuning in and checking out the stream. Still waiting for the match to start. Somebody's restarting their router. Classic PMA LCS here. It's going to be good. Really excited. So we'll be right back. Stream's still going to be live, but I will be away. I'm getting water and doing other streamy things. So BRB.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Are you casting with me?
Heard you needed another caster.
Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever,
right.
Whatever works, man. We're on my channel, and we're live already. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were here because I was deafened. So that's my bad.
Oh, that's fine, but I just need an invite, and we'll be good to go then.
Oh, yep. Of course. Here is the invite. We're waiting, like I've told stream, we're waiting for somebody. They restarted their router. Just I guess they have a reoccurring issue, so that instead of waiting for it to for them to DC during game, they're just restarting it now.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I respect it. Better safe than sorry. Can you tell someone to move this back? The lobby's currently full.
Yeah, hold on. Bukaki move to spec. Need to. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm really excited for both of these teams. Chris, I've listened to some of your casts, and I think like you really nail it on the head. Where like while this might be the lower bracket, it's still very entertaining to watch, and I think that's really what's important.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that statement. Like that's 100% my philosophy. I think there's exactly no reason why these guys can't be as entertaining, and honestly sometimes more entertaining than the harmony bracket games.
Right.
There's a reason we picked lower bracket to be melody bracket. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, very true, very true. Yeah, I forgot that that's what we are calling them now. I guess I'm not as up to date with it.
I feel like at some point someone decided upper and lower was just not very friendly. I don't know. It's 2019, man. But let's not pick bands right now. Saving Private Reckless already with the Alawi and Nautilus bands from Slavy's Lusty Lads.
Ooh, yeah. Let's transition over to that here. We are, doing a really fine job. Wow, yeah, we're first couple of rounds are already banned here. Yeah, the Alawi, Nautilus, and Nocturne makes a whole lot of sense. Bukaki plays Nocturne mid. Nautilus is Prodigy's main support player, and Alawi is Dr. Pengu's favorite top laner.
Yeah, I feel like the Alawi is just something you almost have to permaban against him. And it's not like he does absolutely nothing on other laners, but he definitely is what we would call an Alawi enthusiast, and just let him pick that up for free if you don't have any good options against that is honestly a virtual death sentence, especially with how rough Alawi can be if you're not too familiar in general with the fundamentals of the game. So there's a reason that Alawi is so, like, the lower and lower you go, in terms of like rating, the higher Alawi's win rate starts to get, and it's just a very tough, very punishing champion to play against if you just don't have all the experience you need to beat it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. And going off of that here, we have the Katarina, Morgana, Ahri bans coming from Labby, and I think these are all pretty self-explanatory. Not only are these champions terrible to play against, or at least I hate playing against them. But the Katarina, Juice Me Daddy's one trick. Morgana and Ahri also very prevalent picks for Juice Me, and so I think it makes a lot of sense to ban that out. And we have the Xayah Nami pick coming in here for Labby's Lusty Lads bot lane here. Pretty strong lane in my opinion. Nami's in a really good spot right now, and I think that's a really good pickup for Labby's team. Nothing really more to comment on that. You get the sustain from Nami. Some pretty good stuff. The Galio though, Chris, what are your thoughts on Galio right now?
Oof, Galio is honestly pretty terrible right now. To say that.
Putting it lightly.
I don't know where it's going, but Ursus Octos. That is legitimately Gerber did change his name to that. He was telling me about that, but the name change did come through. That is the man who was previously known as Gerber, but I'm not sure what to think of this Galio, because that doesn't seem like a Juice Me Daddy pick. That doesn't seem like something he would really be looking to affect the map on. So I'm traditionally used to Juice Me Daddy playing something that has a lot of map pressure, and that's why most of the champions you see in his pool are either assassins like Fizz and Katarina, or when he's forced off of his assassins, he chooses pretty much anything that can run Glacial build, because that has a lot of map control with the Spooky Ghosts.
Oh yeah,
so, I think Galio's support is an option here. I'm not sure if I like it in the Xayah Nami though, because Galio just can't trade with that. Nami heals the poke away, and if you all in, the Xayah can pop the Featherstorm in order to dodge. That being said, if they can catch the Xayah without Featherstorm, it's like 160-second cooldown at level 1. Silver Galio can probably all in that pretty effectively.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier is, being a captain in the Melody bracket, I faced both of these teams, and I gotta say, when we were doing some pre-game analysis against SPR, one of the things we noticed was the Galio support was actually a very strong pick for them, and and kind of like what we already touched on, we think Galio's this really bad pick, but in the hands of Gert, he knows what he's doing. So I think it's not necessarily the worst pick for them by any means. But going off of that, we got the Vi, Warwick, Lux, and Fizzbands coming through here. I think these are all pretty fantastic picks, in the jungle or in the mid. Obviously, Vi and Warwick are some of Labby's picks. Lux and Fizz are also for Juice Me Daddy. Juice Me Daddy getting the 5-man ban, though. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, that's literally the straight-up Penta ban, and...
Right.
I also think arguably the Morgana ban is one of their cues to also pick up the Galio support for Ursus Octos as well, because Morgana causes a lot of problems for that lane with the Black Shield, and Galio really doesn't have the strength to just punch through people straight up, really relies on that crowd control combo in lane, and the 5 ban seems to confirm their suspicions. Like, they seem to suspect that this guy is likely going bot. There's no way Juice Me Daddy plays that, and so they choose to keep banning out his pool anyway. And the Akali pick, actually very interesting there, because that could likely be Juice Me Daddy's next pick here. And I also like the pick because that would take it away from Dr. Pengu, who's been using it. That being said, they've likely picked up the Kled for him already.
Yeah, no, for sure. We have the Elise coming in. That cannot be right unless it's Hecarim
top.
Oh, Karthus, yes, okay. So that is supposed to be a Karthus mid. Chris, just like you were saying, Juice Me Daddy really likes to play, global orientated champions, and the Karthus pick is something that I am not caught off guard by. I think Karthus is a great pick mid. He has the global ult. And the Echo coming in here for Bukaki Poro, I believe.
I believe it's Labby. And
oh, Labby, that's right. Echo Jungle.
Labby's Echo Jungle always flies under the radar, and I wouldn't say it's a standout pick for him, but it's always something he can fall back upon in these situations where he gets a lot of his main junglers banned. Both the Vi and the Warwick have been taken away. We're usually used to seeing him on the Vi and the Warwick now. Those are most likely the 2 champions he's known best for. So his Lee Sin's kind of fallen by the wayside in favor of those picks recently, but the Echo, something that's been getting a lot of attention. It's been buffed 2 patches straight in a row, and actually coming next patch, it's going to get a buff to the stun duration of his parallel convergence, his stun. So, okay, Echo Jungle looking very strong next patch, because that stun's actually a big deal for staying healthy while clearing camps, because they'll attack you less. So I think we'll start to see even more priority on the Echo Jungle next patch, but it'll still be very effective this game.
Yeah, and like I said, I've played on with Labby for two teams now, and I think he didn't really ever bust out the Echo Jungle, so I don't know if this is a pick that's always been kind of on the real down low, or if this is something he kind of has started to pick up recently. But yeah, Echo, I think, provides a lot of utility and a lot of gank potential for the early mid game. So I think Chris, I don't know how I feel about both of the team comps though. Are you leaning towards like a specific team that you think might win this one?
I don't know. Both of these comps are relatively interesting, I will say. And Saving Private Reckless has a couple spicy picks coming out with the Karthus and the Akali, so the double AP laners. I'm not sure how Akali does into Kled, although I suspect that matchup isn't incredibly good, especially once Kled gets on 2 items. I'd look for Kled to probably start speccing into the Hex Drinker at some point. That might be a good move for him, either as a very first item or after he picks up the Cleaver, and hit Cleaver, Hex Drinker, Titanic. So you could actually finish the full Maw second. That'd probably be the way to go. And either way, Akali is probably honestly something that Mudkip's... I can't even read this comp, because I see Akali and I'm like, does Mudkip's play Akali? Like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
also,
that's...
like, very easily just be some lane swaps coming up, but for now, Mudkip's is locked in the Akali, so I think that's a real big question mark for me right now, because if he actually, really knows what he's doing, that pick could be really scary, especially once he transitions out of lane. But if it's just kind of one of those things that, it's like you go where no man has gone before and where no man should ever go again. But depending on how that pick plays out, it could make or break this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think what I like about the Akali is the fact that it has the 1v9 potential. That and it allows Mudkips to really kind of take the reins on that as long as he performs well in the early game, right? If Kled shuts him down, and again this is assuming he's going top, um, it could be really detrimental actually for Mudkips and his team if the Akali doesn't get ahead early and snowball. And I think but then I look at the rest of SPR's comp and I feel like that's kind of what they're going for. They have the Hecarim jungle, right? If he's sitting top lane with the Akali, it could work out. They do have, I feel, some like late game insurance, if you will, with like the Sivir being able to like wave clearance stuff, regardless if she gets ahead.
And then the Karthus as
The
well.
Karthus, yeah. And
So I actually really like this comp coming out of Saving Private Reckless this game, because I feel like it's kind of a standard like good stuffs comp that we've seen before. It's got the classic Sivir Hecarim combo. That's a combo that PMA LCS is very familiar with, but you're bringing the Galio support into the mix nonetheless. That's kind of an interesting take on it, and also got good synergy with the Hecarim, because once the Hecarim's in the backline, that basically gives Galio a free ult, and the Akali will likely have an okay laning phase, and along with the Karthus, they actually have ways to clean up the fights that they start now, especially with Karthus ult and Akali going ham in the back line. I just all around, I really like the options the comp has, because they have enough team fight strength to where if they get a good ult combo off, they can still make something happen. And then they have the Akali is something that's known for 1v1s as well. With Karthus that can farm and scale for weight, Sivir can farm and scale for weight, Hecarim can also farm up, but is huge impact early. They have so many options in this comp, and so they don't really have, the explosive team fight that we're used to seeing from some like Malphite Yasuo Amumu, for example, which popped up last game. I believe it was Biscuit Force 5 versus Katarina Wine Mixer, yes?
Yep. It was. Yeah. And, I will say that being the captain for Biscuit Force 5, we were really worried about the Wombo combo, but it just unfortunately didn't really pan out for Katarina, Wine Mixer. And that's something to keep in mind kind of when you think about going these Wombo combo kind of comps. Is there enough damage if it doesn't work out? Is there a plan B if the Wombo combo lands but there's not enough damage to kill everybody that is that gets hit with the Wombo combo? And we could talk more about that later. But I kind of wanted to look at Labby Dabby Doo's comp here because as we're really like analyzing SPR's team comp, I noticed that like Labby Dabby Doo's, or God, I keep saying Labby Dabby Doo's. Labby's Lusty Lads.
What a great team name.
Wow. Classic.
It's actually so clean.
The triple L's. I think like they don't really have that plan B that SPR does, right? SPR has the late game with the Karthus and the Sivir, like we've talked about, but they don't we don't really see that with Labby's team, right? Yeah, Echo, if he gets ahead, possibly, but I don't know. I don't personally, for me, I don't like, and I think Garfield just like hit it on the head with, I think Labby's comp is a 1-3-1 comp specifically, and that's kind of like the goal with their comp, because they could duel with the Echo. They could put Kled in another lane, and he could ult or TP to the fight if there's a fight in the mid lane or whatever. So I think like, their comp has a good foundation, but I don't think there's as many options as SPR's comp. So on paper, I think SPR kind of takes this one just because they have the multiple options.
So my take actually on this is, I think Labby's Lusty Lads has a decent amount of options depending on how they play the game out. If we're talking team fights here, I think they want to be able to bait, a bad engage or perhaps an overzealous engage coming from the side of Saving Private Reckless, because they have a lot of options here. They have Echo Parallel Convergence that can punish people on the re-engage with the stun. They have Nami heals and Orianna shields. So if someone's not getting caught, if someone in their front line is not getting caught out, let's say Saving Private Reckless just chooses to force on Kled or something, I feel like they have the defense to be able to keep them safe, and then you can force the re-engage with Kled ult, and you have Echo's Echo's just a very slippery champion. You have the Kled ult to force the re-engage. You have Zaya's Featherstorm to avoid getting murdered in the back line by the Akali to start the fight out. You have Orianna shields. You have Nami heals. You also have the Orianna ult. So if they pile into the wrong spot for the re-engage, you pop the Orianna ult. All of a sudden, that gets really good for them. That being said, like depending on like what we see in Dragon spawns, if Saving Private Reckless picks up 2+ Infernals or something like that with a Sivir Karthus comp, like it just doesn't matter at that point. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're hanging out in the chat, hit us with either a hashtag SPR win or a hashtag LLL win, not to be confused with triple M's, or whatever, or MMMs if you call them those.
We call those them, those.
Them, those,
those, them, that, them, those, that, them, there, where, what, why, how.
And
crap.
True. Chris and I here, we're in loading screen. Don't really see anything out of the ordinary when it comes to like runes, except for maybe like the Conqueror on Akali. Is that normal?
That's reasonably normal depending on how you play, and especially on Akali top, the Conqueror is something that is seen, because typically you get yourself into extended trades with Akali nowadays, and that's something that can be really useful. So when you're playing Akali, there are actually decent options. You have Electrocute, Fleet Footwork, and Conqueror are usually the 3 keystones you're looking at. Fleet Footwork is the safe one that allows you to farm. It's usually used the most in mid against safe ranged matchups that you need the footwork to be able to sustain yourself into and keep yourself safe. Electrocute, usually used in the 1v1 matchups. It's pretty good against other assassins, but I have also been known to use the fleet footwork and there just to sustain them out because you have Shroud the Force trades. So that's personal preference. The Electrocute's super good for all-inning squishy champs with no escapes in the mid lane, but the Conqueror is usually used for extended trades, right? And it actually works pretty well because Akali has pretty spammable Q. She can also drop will drop autos weaving in and out, and especially in top lane where you have a lot of melee bruisers trading in, that means you'll have people committing into Akali's Shroud where she can really get off multiple hits in them and they have no way to walk out. So the Conqueror is actually really nice for her in this scenario.
Yeah, I agree. Chris, I am at 54 seconds. Where are you at?
57, 58.
Okay,
59,
let me...
1 minute.
Alright, hit pause at 1.
Pause at where?
I'm at 101. Where are you at? Just hit pause.
Yeah, I'm at 101.
I'm at 101 as well. Alright, we'll hit
Perfect.
play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, perfect. Should be nice and synced up.
There we go.
So I assume, do you want me play-by-playing?
Yeah, you can do play-by-play.
Okay, we'll do that.
Did you have a match earlier this evening?
I did.
You did? Okay. How did it go?
We got long donged, like usual. It was great.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't want to say like hot take. I don't want to see Location 69 Sasuke Defense Battalions throwing in the towel for the season, because we're not. But like, I'll be honest, like it's SummerSlam. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And like every team gets into playoffs anyway, especially in the upper bracket, and like literally the only thing you get for this is bragging rights. Like we're just kind of chilling, taking the rest of the season, in a nice leisurely way. We're having fun. We got some spicy stuff planned. We can't wait.
Good.
And
good. That's what it's all about, man.
Maybe in playoffs or our last match that we play next week against I believe it's the return of Naruto versus Sasuke actually next week. We'll see if we can finally take our first game since week 2.
Yeah. Hey, that's not bad. It's SummerSlam and stuff happens. It's SummerSlam and like the other mini splits are like, in my opinion, the time to experiment, the time to have like new people who haven't been drafted before get drafted, and I think that in that regard, the split as a whole has been very successful. I feel like a lot of people have been drafted that don't really get drafted typically, and I think at the end of the at the end of the day, a mini split especially, focuses on that. Should focus on that, getting more people to play, and that's just my 2 cents on that.
So my official input on all of this is I really like it because it's a time to experiment with new formats and see stuff that's going on. Because, the two biggest things we've had this split have been obviously the set schedule and the reintroduction of upper and lower brackets. Set schedule is obviously very mixed effects, and I'll get back to that because Borgfeast is here in this mid lane. Bukake Poro flashing out immediately. He's going to enter the flash after the ignite is popped. That's the Dark Harvest. And layaway is going to get the first blood for Juice Me Daddy in the mid lane. Well, about that early trade, Mudkip's getting it on the top lane, but the combo from Ursus Arctos in the bot lane's very strong, forcing the flash from Prodigy. Is the Ignite going to tick down?
No.
It is! Kill secured!
Feels bad, man. I think that was a really good play from the bot lane specifically, as a support main. You love to be in a situation like that. I wanted to say that I'm very not happy, but interested that the Karthus flashed forward as aggressive as he did, because to me that told me that he knew for sure that he was going to land both of those Qs, because I'm not sure that the Orianna was going to die there if he didn't. So that was very exciting for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an ambitious flash, but he knows he has the damage for it, and I think what's crucial there as well is Borgfeus, getting the red buff autos on him means that he can much more easily hit those Qs, and Lappy found Borgfeus in the jungle, and Bukake Poro, they're here to support the invade though, and Borgfeus is going to get taken down pretty low and forced to back off, so there's some jungle pressure being thrown around early in the jungle by Labby, but so far nothing much happening as a result. Still relatively even across the board. Prodigy needs another Galio combo. The Boomerang Blade comes out, kill secured by Packard Diehard. Labby going in under tower in the top lane, gonna make it out of that tower alive barely. Flash was burned for Mudkip's flash as well. So,
yeah, and now that we just saw another flawless Galio combo here, just want to make a quick shout out to Garfield Juice, who is memeing on us saying that Galio's a shit champion. Yeah, I guess in the right hands, he's very, very good, and we're seeing that kind of, be really rewarding for Ursos. How do you pronounce his name, Chris?
I think I'm going with Ursus Arctos.
Ursus Arctos.
Ursus Arctos is my call right now. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Loving the new names. But yeah, it's really working for their bot lane. So power to them for making that work.
I believe it just straight up means grizzly bear or something like that in Latin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's bear something.
Did you look it up?
It's something bear. No, he was telling me about it a while ago. But it's something bear. I know that. I forget. It's like, you would think it would be like white bear or something. It's like Arctos, but like it's something different. It's like something I didn't expect. I'd have to ask him about it later. But so honestly, yeah, I'm still sticking to my guns. I don't think Galio's that good of a champ, but he's pretty good when you walk into combos. But that was a really good bubble by Prodigy, actually. Going to force out the flash there. Joystick extremely low, though. Packer looking for the kill. There comes the Karthus ult with that Dark Harvest. Still not going to be enough. Joystick just barely surviving, and Prodigy's also out too. But Borgfeus smells blood in the water. Coming in the Hecarim charge. The double kill for Borgfeus. Predator Hecarim has found his man.
Choo, baby. Holy fuck.
Holy Hecarim.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I was real. Wow, I just can't. I don't even know. I'm speechless. Don't even know what to say from that. Holy cow.
You're just so far, Saving Private Reckless, honestly in the right place at the right time, especially with Borgfeus on that. So, they're getting the better of them just based upon the rotations. And Ursus Arctos perhaps stepping a little too far up there. Nami punishing him a little bit, but it's just there with the Karthus. All that global Mac pressure comes out. Great flash away from Dr. Pengu. Borgfeus is making his impact felt all around the map right now.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. Borgfeus has just been making some really good rotations. We saw him bot a minute and a half ago, and then all of a sudden he's top ganking. he is really putting the team on his back, in my opinion, with these ganks. He's really, I feel like oh boy,
Ooh,
wait a minute.
But the Charge is gonna run him down there. That was actually hilarious. Surprised he took the shuriken.
Wow, I bet you Mudkips was feeling real bad. He was like, you know what, I'm going to give one to Dr. Pengu, try to even out the gold lead here as Borpheus is back.
Game. Yeah, he's back for more, and hopefully he doesn't have to pop ult for this. There's the ult, actually going to just use it to be on the safe side.
But
on a killing spree. USP Daddy actually flashing straight back into Labby's parallel convergence in the mid lane. You hate to see it.
Oh,
Labby
man.
finally strikes back in the jungle matchup at USP Daddy's expense. That's going to allow Bukaki to get some much needed catching up in this mid lane.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's just funny to see, like, there's just so much going on, and like Garfield Juice said, I mean, it's a freaking bloodbath already. We got 8. We're getting about 1 kill a minute here. We're approaching 9 minutes. I'm getting a little anxious here. We need to figure out where this next kill is going to be, Chris. What are you expecting?
Probably somewhere around Inferno. That would be the smartest answer, assuming both teams are trying to play clean macro games. But really, I don't know. Prodigy could just walk into another Galio combo again. Like, that could feasibly happen. Or, top lane, perhaps Pengu could solo kill Mudkits, or it could go the other way. So one thing that actually makes that top lane matchup interesting, though, is Pengu's Kled Bear Trap on a rope with the special 60% Grievous Wounds on it. Actually makes it really hard for Mudkips to trade with this Conqueror. So, depending on that matchup, it might often be a Fleet Footwork matchup, just trade Nado and then get out for maximum healing. Because with that Bear Trap on a rope, once you pop the Conqueror, he's going to have trouble sustaining against it.
Yep, yeah, definitely. And I think that, I've been thinking a lot about Grievous Wounds in general, in solo queue and stuff too. Like, it's just it baffles me that, like, Thornmail has that as a passive as well. I just, it never really, I think a lot of people forget about it, or at least I do. I never would really expect a Grievous Wounds to be on an item like that. As blue team here, SPR getting Dragon, using their bot lane pressure to get those neutral objectives here.
Yeah, and it seems right now that Labby's Leslie Lad's feeling a little anxious, perhaps not being in the right place to fight. That's a good spell shield from Packer Diehard there. But so interesting interaction with Sivir and Xayah. Sivir's spell shield actually only catches one of the Xayah feathers. So the reason the Xayah didn't root there is she only had 3 total, and so it spell shielded 1 for a grand total of 2 feather hits, right?
Yeah.
The spell shield only catches 1, meaning if you have tons of feathers, it's not going to matter. And Labby going phase dive over the wall, escape Borpheus there. Brought pretty low already. Borpheus choosing not to ult over, just to be on the safe side. You never know what's waiting for you back there.
True. Very true. Yeah, I just wanted to say the amount of damage Borpheus did there was just so much, too, already for being only 11 minutes into the game. But again, it's the CS lead and the 2 extra kills, But yeah, what I was saying was, like, the Grievous Wound thing, I think a lot of people really underestimate healing reduction as a mechanic in the game. It's really, really, like you said, it's really hard to sustain against, especially if you're running a comp that has a lot of healing. And, I mean, it's the only way to really counter it. So,
I would 100% agree Grievous Wounds is slept upon. What's really slept upon is like the 60% Grievous with the special ones for Kled and Katarina. Those are really important. And going for the 4-man bot here, it's a good taunt combo from Ursus Arctos. Actually, Shockwave comes out, though AZ Project can secure the kill on Ursus Arctos. Joystick, though, forced to pop a Feather Storm to escape that Sivir damage real quick. But very effective map presence from Labby's Lusty Lads, and it costs Ursus Arctos' life.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was able to land the 2 or 3-man taunt there with his W, but it just wasn't enough as, Labby might be caught out here.
Yeah, that's some big damage coming out from Borpheus here, but the turnaround comes out. Labby
Wait
with
a
the
minute.
shutdown, the Karthus ult plus the Sivir Q, barely going to leave Bukake Boro hanging. Ooh, man.
No.
More trading going on top lane, though, and there's that Grievous Wounds again on Mudkits, making it a little difficult for him to answer back. And in general, Kali, Kali's never going to be able to solo kill the Kled, generally speaking. The nice part about this, though, is Akali will have a decent shot at still playing the game going into the backline, because Kled really shouldn't be dumping on this lane either. Sakali has
Right.
the Shroud. She has a lot of options. This would be a lane where I would expect to see it, to be a farm lane. But wait, Pengu's dismounted. Here comes the ult one coming out. Combo's clean. He gets remounted, but Mudkip secures it with the execute before Scarl can come for him. Great solo kill by Mudkips.
Wow, yeah, that was really, really clean for Mudkips. Landing his stuff exactly at the right time. If it was any later, he would have remounted and not been able to kill the Kled. So, yeah, and I just wanted to ask, because we're talking about the Grievous Wounds thing, and I'm obviously extremely tilted by it. Like, why did Riot decide to change Kled's Q to have that healing reduction? Was it to counter, top lane matchups, you think? Or...
I think they just decided, from what I can gather from the patch, they just decided it was time to add some more unique mechanics to the game, and they just, took a survey of their champions. So, which champion needs some more unique mechanics? They're like, hey, I got a good one. Let's give them extra Grievous Wounds.
Right.
Katarina and Kled could use some love, I guess. Give them that one. The same reason they're like, okay, well, Blitzcrank ult blows up shields. Okay, you know what's fair? Renekton's doing really well right now with the Black Cleaver Spear Shojian build in the top lane. Just all wins tons of people for free. But you know what he needs to blow up shields with his, with his W. That's what he needs in his life. More shield blow up. So it seems Riot's really looking to clamp down on heals and shields as a mechanic in general with those two, because both of those mechanics are anti-healing and shielding mechanics. You could argue, why are they giving the Kled, right? They give him Renekton, but right. I think it's at least nice that Riot seems to recognize that healing and shielding overall seems to be a bit of a problem in this game right now.
True.
That being said, Grievous Wounds is very frustrating to play until you realize I have 3 people on my team with Grievous Wounds and the Yumi's still healing 1,000 HP in a single team fight. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's do you increase the amount of healing? Oh my god.
Oh, charge comes out. Mudkip's getting mowed down under tower. That's that power of the Kled coming through. He can shuriken away all he wants, but charge is coming after him.
Yeah, it's going to run him down, no matter how far away he gets the dash or the jump. I will say Juice Me Daddy, though, is looking so strong right now compared to the Orianna. I don't know if it's just, maybe it's because he has more health, and I'm just, oh, wait a minute.
As Bukake Pora sets up the gank here, Labby comes in from the side. I don't know where that Time Winder is going, but I know where either Juice Me Daddy or Bukake Pora is going. The answer is the Grave. It's going to get the takedown here, but the Karth Assault comes out. Packer Die Hard really low in bot lane. Juice Me Daddy's found Bukake Pora with that, and the double kill in bot lane on Prodigy as well. Joystick just barely making it out of there by the skin of his teeth. Morpheus actually finding Labby as well in the mid lane.
I will say it's so tilting to play against a really good Karthus, because I just feel like, if Karthus didn't have the global ultimate there, there wouldn't be 3 kills, right? You know what I mean? So I think, it's really hard to play around, and, the later this game goes, the more CDR and more damage that Karthus ult is going to be doing or will have, so it's going to be up more. It's going to be really hard to play around, and so I'm starting to get a little worried about Labby's lusty lads.
Yeah, especially with the Infernal Drake already online. That's Infernal number 1 for Saving Private Reckless. I think this Karthus is something that's really going to be concerning transition into the late game. Sitting on 3 kills right now. Yes, he's died 2 times, but he's got that Rod of Ages stacking right now. He's only the Oblivion Orb. And let's see how many stacks. Wonder if I can figure out how many stacks this man has on his Dark Harvest. Probably. Let me check him real quick. He has 5 Dark Harvest stacks, which honestly... not good, but it's definitely not bad. It's going to give him a bit of an extra kick going forward into that late game. And, if there's something else I got to say about Karthus, some of the most fun you'll ever have in this game is playing Karthus with a good jungler and a winning side lane. Because then, literally they just make plays happen. You just ult on rotation for free and you just get kills. It's really fun.
Yeah, true. It is always really nice, when you just randomly ult trying to kill somebody, and then you not accidentally, but you just, kill somebody else, and it's like, oh, hey, look at that.
Me Karthus, me map pressure, as
right.
it works. But speaking of map pressure here, Bukake Poro's caught out on the top side jungle. It's a decent shockwave to stop him, but Juice Me Daddy's gone on a killing spree. Great parallel convergence comes in from Labby. Dr. Pengu's found Mudkips as well, and now Borgfius gonna get run down doing what he can, but it's not gonna be enough. Labby's found the kill. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 overall for the side of Labby's Lusty Lads.
Yeah, I think that was just... Oh, wait a minute. The TP coming in bot lane?
Yeah. Dr. Penguin's found his opportunity, and it's gonna be bad news Bears for this bot lane here. Hacker Die Hard 12 doing the best he can, so maybe it's more bad news Packers and not bad news Bears. Pretty sure the Bears lost the games of the Packers.
They
I
did.
remember that.
A lot of
yeah,
people
you
were
hate to see
upset.
it.
Yeah, hate to see it. Oh my god, the Karthus
man,
ult though.
Karthus gonna clean him up. Karthus Prestar, baby. Juice Me Daddy is on a rampage. I'll take that 2 for 0 and make it a 2 for 2, baby.
That's what I'm saying. He literally just all he did that fight was hit R. He was looking on the map and was like, "Oh, I hit R now." Beep boop, and just got 2 kills to even out the fight. But he might be caught out here.
He hit the bear trap, maybe. I don't know if he could. I still don't know if he would have killed him though. I gotta. That being said, Karthus really isn't a champion except for the ultimate, so it makes it fair enough. But it's still a very, a reasonably polarizing design. It's very much weighted towards the ult. So, like if there's, no matter how fair or unfair a lot of designs are in the game, everyone's just gonna have like a list of champions that just tilts them. And if anyone's like, Karthus really tilts me, I'd be like, I respect that. Like I can understand why.
Yeah, I agree. We had Borkvius here going for the chase against Kled, but he was found, Borkvius found 2 other people. Chris, I'm very curious. You're a high elo player. What are your thoughts on Rift Herald?
That's on Rift Herald overall. I think
Yeah.
Herald's really strong, and a lot of times as a jungler, you can find Rift Herald solos based upon who you're playing, and it's very easy to move around and get the eye. So Rift Herald solos, in my opinion, are one of the main reasons why having a good understanding of jungle pathing is necessary. So that way, at any point in time, you can just be like, their jungler is probably bot here. There's a 99% chance he's bot here. This should be safe to do. And you can pop a Rift Herald for free, and you're really looking to establish pressure out of the gate early, because you want to drop a Rift Herald solo before, around like 12 minutes. Say, like 12 minutes is probably the magic timer on Rift Herald solo, because that gives you an option to like set up a play in transition that Rift Herald to getting yourself free plating golds. And so that's really the greatest value, I would say, of the Rift Herald, is getting basically free plating golds out of it. It's legitimately straight up like 500 plus gold for free if you manage to find an opportunity to take a Rift Herald solo. So like if your jungler solos Rift Herald and can pop platings with it, that's basically like getting a duo kill on the bot lane, just straight up for free from map pressure.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, slight kerfuffle happening in the bot lane there. Everyone seems to be like mostly fine. Got some low healths here and there, but the Karthus comes in. That's gonna be a harvest pop. Juice Me Daddy's unstoppable. That's the power of that Karthus. If you're going in for fights, you got to make sure you can clean them up and clean them up quickly, or else that's kind of what happens. Everyone disengages and the Karthus cleans it up.
Yep. And I mean, he's been doing that well. I think at least 4 of those kills were from him just ulting in a different lane. So yep, he's doing his job as Karthus for sure. I will say, we spent some time this match talking about Grievous Wounds. Let's take a little peek here at the Galio's itemization here, as he has a Bramble Vest, which, you guys guessed it, gives Grievous Wounds. Oh, we got a fight in the bot lane.
And there's the interaction I talked about earlier with the Xayah feathers coming through, rooting Packer Die Hard under the tower, and God bless him getting out by the skin of his teeth for the heal. Dr. Pengu also charging in top lane to try and save that tower, but Mudkips barely escapes with it. This Infernal Drake going to be a source of contention here, as they're looking for the steal here. That's super important. Borkvius actually stolen it. Can he escape? He cannot. Bukake Poro going to get the kill with a nice Orianna ult. Labby Celestia lads looking for more, but unfortunately likely not going to find it here. Now overall, I gotta say that's completely worth, especially with the comp they're running. They get out with literally only losing Borkvius' life and securing a second Infernal. That's completely worth it. And assuming if they can get the wave clear in position to be sure they don't, lose a mid turret or something like that, that's completely and utterly worth it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, they need the more damage, to get those better Karthus ults and to blow more people up. Really unfortunate situation for Labby and his team though, because literally it was just 4 of them taking down the dragon. They bursted it down, but I think they're about the same level here in the jungle. So I don't know if Labby just was discouraged when he saw Borkvius maybe, or they didn't kill him fast enough. Uh, but yeah, hopefully the smites can come out a little quicker or sooner. Um, and I will say, that is definitely something that is very hard to work on as a team. Trying to do neutral objectives and having clear communication on whether to stay on it or to get off of it, I think is something that's very hard to master as a team. Because it involves a lot of communication, a lot of map awareness, self awareness, and just a lot of game knowledge too about like how fast champions can burst down a neutral objective, engagement tools, disengage tools, and stuff like that. So I think it's something that every team, should work on because it's a very crucial part of the game, securing neutral objectives.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And sometimes it can be very hard to coordinate objectives, especially if you have a lot of say dueling personalities on your team or something like that, or you have some solo queue style type play. You're liable to make a whole bunch of mistakes because someone's not willing to listen. But Borgfius actually finding a kill in the mid lane, going in with that ultimate Bukake Poro going to Zanya's. It's still not going to block the Karthus ult though. Just dominating on that Karthus. Labby looking for the re-engage, not fancying it though, and Galio was holding that taunt, so that would have just been a one dead Echo.
Yeah, yikes. It was very, the Nami just got blown up. There's not really any other kind of way to say it or cast it. It's just she got caught by the Galio taunt, and it was, GG's from there. Really unfortunate kind of situation. Chris, how does Labby's Lusty Lads, come back? How do they stay in this game?
So what they need to do is get this Kled moving at some point. I see him picking up the Null Magic Mantle at least, so it seems that at some point he wants to get the Hex Drinker. So I'm looking for Hex Drinker and Cleaver on this Kled. Get them to where the Kled can start splitting against the Akali, because really, Saving Private Reckless should have the late game, especially because they've secured both Infernos. I feel like this game is getting drastically out of reach right now for Labby's Lusty Lads. That being said, I feel like the Clad's going to be the options they have, and that option slowly evaporating as Dr. Pengu's getting caught out in the top lane here. Going to get mobbed and taken down by 4 of them. Borgfius secures the kill.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I think he missed the flash too, and even if he did, I don't think he was going to get out because I believe he was ignited. Yeah, that's a really, in my opinion, a very good collapse for SPR. They could definitely look to secure this Baron now that, like you said, Dr. Pengu, one of the stronger members of Labby's team. Oh my god, that was
577 damage from a Karthus K. That's disgusting. Honestly, this is the comeback that I'd look for right here. And a clean Echo parallel convergence around Baron could change everything, but unfortunately, Labby's Lusty Lads not in position for that. It means that Baron is going to go straight over to the side of Saving Private Reckless. So, that's what I'm looking for to get the comebacks. So I'm looking for choke point fights so we can get good shockwave combos set up for Bukake Poro or parallel convergences from Labby. Nami Wave also really apt at controlling gaps, and that lets Zaya Feathers as well control more zones. So if I am Labby's Lusty Lads, I am fighting only in corridors right now. I'm also looking for perhaps an overzealous engage into the back lot. Looking for perhaps an overzealous engage on the front line. It's like, especially because Saving Private Reckless is ahead right now, about 6k plus worth of gold. If they get to the back line, you're done. Forget about it. You got a 7-2 Karthus with Death Cap, Ghostblade Hecarim, Nakali with Gunblade. It's completely done.
Oh,
see what I mean right there? One of their back line gets found. He gets popped immediately by that Hecarim. And it's going to be a Cloud Drake going over to Labby's Saving Private Reckless as well. Borgfius going deep in the jungle looking for it. Joystick secures the blue. We got dueling fights coming out on random places on the map. The Requiem's pots as Mudkips is fighting Dr. Pengu in the bot lane right now. He's actually going to get the solo kill on Dr. Pengu, and they fancy the re-engage. That was a good shockwave, but it's not going to matter. Or Sarkthos deep under this turret. The kill on Bukake Poro picked up by Packer Die Hard. Overall, a very scattered fight, and a 3-4-0 for the side of Saving Private Reckless. Slowly but surely closing their grasp over this game.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Labby's Lusty Lads here, as again, Prodigy is just getting blown up because he is just stepping a hair, like legitimately a hair too far up, and Borgfius has just been really good about punishing him. Um, but
Oh god, that's so much damage. He's dead.
oh, and he's dead
Straight
again.
up
That's
dead.
yeah, and you can't. There,
Q
what can
ignite
Nami
auto.
do?
He's straight
Yeah,
up dead.
it's just a very unfortunate situation, and like we talked about earlier, the whole goal of SPR's team comp right now, or for this match, was to snowball and get ahead, and that's exactly what they did. Look at the score lines: 8-3, 8-2. Even the bot lane is very support like, where it's the 2-2-11, 2-1-9. So I think, like, SPR, they had one goal in mind, and they're right now really succeeding with it.
Yeah, I definitely say so too, and I would like, definitely, if we're talking about things for next game, I'd probably like to see Prodigy on a tankier option next game, as I'll be honest, kind of looks like he's playing off tank Nami this game. His positioning is not, like, incredibly bad or anything. It's just he's kind of more towards the front end, and people are just finding him time and time again in these crucial fights. It's just been a rough time for him. So I'd like to see him on something. Maybe he doesn't feel quite comfortable on this Nami. I just don't think it's quite his style. I'd like to see him on something like maybe the Nautilus again, but that was banned away. So that was not an option. Probably you pick up like a Thresh or something like that. I just think you have better options for him as a player than Nami.
Yeah, and as a support...
Oh god,
goodbye.
that's disgusting damage. Good disengage by Joystick, though. This could be the fight they're looking for, but unfortunately everyone's so low. Those shields are not going to matter. That's going to be a double kill for Juice Me Daddy on the Karthus. Labby and Joystick both biting the big one from that Requiem, and now it should be an easy peasy push it into the basin. And for Saving Private Reckless here, the teleport comes out from Mudkip. They're onto the Nexus turrets already. Dr. Pengu, Bukake Poro, and Prodigy, the Fantastic Three here, looking to see what they can do to defend. But unfortunately, this Nexus' health is dropping rapidly, likely not going to be enough. Shockwave comes out, that's some good damage, but it's just not going to matter. Saving Private Reckless is going to take a game 1 at 30 minutes.
GG's all around. We have MVP poll in the chat below. Please vote. Here's another one. And another one. On who you think is going to be MVP. I think you have to give it either to the Karthus or to the Hecarim. Hell, I'd even give it to the Galio. I think Gert did a lot with that pick in the bot lane, and was able to set up for those free kills. My thing is like frozen right now. Not sure why.
It's league play. You don't have to ask.
Yeah, true. So take a vote now, Chris. Who are you thinking, real quick?
So in terms of the two most obvious ones, like Borgfeast and Juice Me Daddy, I think have got to be the big ones, because Borgfeast's jungle pressure on the Hecarim really came through, and the Predator build is not something that we see coming back, but Borgfeast time and time again turns to the Predator build with Ghost as opposed to the Conqueror build, and I can see why he prefers that style of play, because it lets him just pressure so many lanes at once. Juice Me Daddy as well, forced to be reckoned with on that Karthus in the right place at the right time, and by that I mean his ult was up and he pressed it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, he also did a really good job. He survived laning phase. He was ahead or equal in farm the entire time as a Karthus. That's really good, and he's also doing what he could do in those fights with not just his ult. He was landing good layways to them. He zoning him off with walls, which fun fact about Karthus, actually, his wall grants so much vision, so you can actually use it to check instead of face checking. It's so very helpful. I would say, from my money, the sleeper MVP. If you like sleeper MVPs, Ursus Arctos is your man, especially because he set that bot lane up for success, and that's really kind of what was capitalized on the entire game, as Borgfeast walked bot, got them rolling after they got a duo kill, and then Juice Me Daddy was able to secure Dark Harvest stacks and start snowballing off of the kills that were being set up in the bot lane by Ursus Arctos. So I think there are three really good options for MVP of this game, and I just really have to see where it falls.
Yep, yeah, I completely agree. Speaking of the MVP poll, we have 8 votes in right now, and we are tied for Borkvius and Juice Me Daddy. Please, please, please. Oh my God, it's a 3-way tie now with the 3 team members that we mentioned.
Baby.
So, yeah. So please, please, please. We're at 15 viewers now. We were at like 6 during the game. So if you are new to the stream, please vote in this poll for me, so that way we can determine who the MVP for Game 1 is. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream real quick just for VOD purposes. So we will be right back in like 30 seconds. Stick around.